What's up, everyone? This is Afar.
And this is Tim.
Welcome back to our channel where we react and discuss to the topics shared by you guys.
And if you like our content, subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date and you don't miss out on our latest videos.
Yeah, leave your video recommendations in the comments or on our IG. The link to our socials are down in the description below. And without further ado, let's get started on today's video.
Let's go.
What's up, everyone? This is Afar and Tim. Today we're going to be reacting to something that has been recommended many times over for us. It's the conversation with Jesus and Allah. I've seen this before. Tim hasn't seen it, so it will be his first time. I'm just going to help him out through the video, explain a few things if needed. And without further ado, let's get to the... Make sure the volume's not too high up, because then they can't hear us sometimes. Just lower the volume a little bit. Yeah, that's good.
إنك أنت علام الغيوب يوم يجمع الله الرسل فيقول ماذا أجبتم قالوا لا علم لنا إنك أنت علام الغيوب إذ قال الله يا عيسى ابن مريم اذكر نعمتي عليك وعلى والدتك إذ أيدتك بروح القدس تكلم الناس في المهد وكهلا وإذ علمتك الكتاب والحكمة والتوراة
Pause real quick. I want to touch on that. So it said that Allah taught Jesus the Torah and the gospel, right?
Gospel, yeah.
So you obviously believe in the Bible, and you see that God's favors upon Jesus, and it's kind of like the same thing with the other prophets, you know? God teaches them like the books that were before them and after them, the true books, because obviously Muslims believe that the Bible isn't 100%, and neither is the Torah. So what's your take on that?
Like on the book itself, or?
Yeah, like it's preserved, is it preserved and stuff like that? Because this is just from your opinion, because you're Christian, right?
Yeah, so from my opinion, like, so when I read the Bible, right, I look at the fundamentals, right? So on what the scriptures say, right? Because I feel like some of it, when the way that it's written and when you read it, it looks like it's coming from somebody else's story as well. So
so you don't see it as like 100% like this is what it says and this is what it is?
Yeah, so I don't go by the literal words, right? So when I read it, I basically think of what the core meaning of that story is, and what the lessons that is trying to teach, you know. I rather look at what the message that it's trying to teach and base it off that message rather than the literal words, compared to other people, right? So
yeah, because some people take like the text, whether it's in the Bible or any other thing, sometimes they take it way too literal, and they don't think of what the text is trying to say spiritually, for me, you know, type of thing.
Absolutely.
So I think sometimes it's not just the text, like there's something in between the lines, you know. They say read between the lines, like there's something in there, the message that you got to focus on. So
and like what type of message is it trying to convey, right? So, you know, like some of the scriptures, it will show you like situational things that might come up and how to deal with it, and you know, because a lot of the times when you get into certain type of situations, you use your emotions and you use your feelings, and then you don't think about the consequences. You don't think about what the aftermath of your actions are or how you respond to it. So that's why it's, you know, it's good to, you know, take a step back and really, you know, read through that message and understand that, you know, what is it trying to teach you and how is it trying to you know, shed light of that situation so that you can make, you know, the right decision, right?
One quick thing for me is I feel like people read their text and they don't question it, and they think that because they question it, it's wrong. And it's not. It's part of Islam for us also to question our own text, you know.
Absolutely.
So we can actually understand it. Because, for example, when the people that lived at the time of the Prophet, they didn't know something, they would question it. It's not a thing of bad, because they just genuinely want to know and learn more from it. So I think people should, if they want to know the real truth and stuff like that, they should always question whatever they're reading.
Absolutely.
Let's get back to it.
وإذ تخلق من الطين كهيئة الطير بإذني فتنفخ فيها فتكون طيرا بإذني وتبرئ الأكمه والأبرص بإذني وإذ تخرج الموتى بإذني وإذ كففت بني إسرائيل عنك إذ جئتهم بالبينات فقال الذين كفروا منهم إن هذا إلا سحر مبين وإذ أوحيت إلى الحواريين أن آمنوا بي وبرسولي قالوا آمنا واشهد بأننا مسلمون إذ قال الحواريون يا عيسى ابن مريم هل يستطيع ربك أن ينزل علينا مائدة من السماء قال اتقوا الله إن كنتم مؤمنين.
Pause here real quick. So one of the things there was the people that were with the Prophet, what makes them so different than the people that were living at the time, right? So like Allah says that the 12 disciples, they were inspired to follow you. Like we inspired them to do it. Otherwise they'd just be like the rest of the people who are non-believers and stuff like that. But even they sometimes can act out of pocket. And that was one of the things where they asked for a table from the heavens, right? And it's like sometimes like there's a difference between asking questions and demanding something that's like out of reach and is like out of ignorance, you know? When people ask questions because they want to know the text properly, that's coming from a good reasoning and because you have good intention. But for example, when they ask for something like that, like bring us like a table from heaven, that's more out of like ignorance and not understanding your place, you know? Like even Jesus doesn't ask for that, you know? Jesus doesn't dare ask for that, but the disciples ask for it. So
absolutely.
نأكل منها وتطمئن قلوبنا ونعلم أن قد صدقتنا ونكون عليها من الشاهدين قال عيسى ابن مريم اللهم ربنا أنزل علينا مائدة من السماء تكون لنا عيدا لأولنا وآخرنا وآية منك وارزقنا وأنت خير الرازقين قال الله إني منزلها عليكم فمن يكفر بعد منكم.
And that's why the punishment was so strict, you know? You dare ask for something, but make sure you don't go astray after this. Among the worlds, like, you get the worst of it.
يا عيسى ابن مريم أأنت قلت للناس اتخذوني وأمي إلهين من دون الله قال سبحانك
You got really emotional reciting this.
ما يكون لي أن أقول ما ليس لي بحق إن كنت قلته فقد علمته تعلم ما في نفسي ولا أعلم ما في نفسي إنك أنت علام الغيوب ما قلت لهم إلا ما أمرتني به أن اعبدوا الله ربي وربكم.
Pause real quick here.
وكنت.
So you've seen how their God questions like Jesus, like, did you say to these people that take me and my mother as like deities, you know? And so what is your opinion based on you reading the text in the Bible? Does it say like explicitly anywhere like that Jesus is God?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No.
Because for us, especially in the Quran, it's very explicit, you know? Allah always wants people to know that no matter what you do,
Yeah.
always be remembrance that I am the one that's going to be watching over you.
Yeah.
I'm the knower of all things. I'm your creator, you know? I'm God, you know? And so when I read a little bit of the Bible, I have never found anywhere that it's very explicit to the point where like Jesus is like, follow me. It's never been there, you know? So I just wanted to take your take on that.
Yeah.
عليهم شهيدا ما دمت فيهم فلما توفيتني كنت أنت الرقيب عليهم وأنت على كل شيء شهيد إن تعذب.
I wonder why it is that this resonates so much with him, you know, to be crying this much.
Yeah.
Pause real quick. I'm just curious, just to like get the take on some of you who might be watching, if any of you are Christian or who believe Jesus to be God, because I'm just curious what they feel and how they see this when all of a sudden in the Quran, when Jesus is having a conversation with God, Jesus looks very weak, you know what I mean? Like, because there's a power difference, you know, like the real God, and then there's someone that people made out to be God, you know, and how he's acting so apologetic, because like the people took him as that. God knows that this isn't something that he taught people. It's just that's how people took it. And this guy seems very emotional because he understands that, you know, sometimes people see your words as wrong. Yeah. And at the end, if you make someone think the wrong way based on your actions, you might get punished, right? So, I don't know. If you guys know, like, for your reason on why you guys watch these and what you take from it, let us know, because I find that interesting what like some Christians or Catholics' opinion might be when they see Jesus, you know, talking to God and being so sorry for what people thought of him. Yeah,
if you can like you know help us better understand where your perspective is and provide your input in the comments below. You know, we're here to learn, right? So the more information that you guys are able to provide, we'd be more than happy to read it over. So
because like you want to learn everything, right? You want to understand like other religions, so that we are not creating any misconceptions also, right? So,
absolutely.
Let's get back.
لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين
Okay, so that was the end of the video. What's your biggest takeaways from this? What did you learn? What stood out to you?
Just just the conversation between Jesus and God, and just how there's a huge difference between someone who follows God and someone who's chosen by God as a prophet, right? So where someone who's a prophet is basically like really apologetic of the wrongdoings that the people who are who believe in God, but then have the audacity to ask God for certain things.
Yeah.
Where you have to know that God doesn't have to do anything for you, right?
Yeah.
And you have to understand where your place is in the world, right? And I think a lot of people kind of look towards God when they want something, rather than they need God in their life, So I think that's resonated with me for sure, and that kind of shows the difference between the prophets as well, right? And how Jesus was certainly so apologetic with the fact that his his followers that he's with are making these requests, and that the people that follow God are trying to misrepresent that they're not believing in God itself anymore and thinking of him as God in that perspective as well.
Do you
right?
find it unique that Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, like their texts are so interconnected? Like, for example, like the prophets, they're in each book,
Mm-hmm.
And so do you find it unique how one book, for example, the Bible, is designed to kind of like worship Jesus, but then in the Islamic text, in the Quran, he's just like a prophet, and you get this perspective on it? Like, what do you think?
Well, like I feel like in the text of the Bible, it doesn't specifically say that Jesus is God, right? So, and I think it comes from people's conception of how his history has changed people's mindset.
Yeah.
Because when I was doing some research, right, like Christianity was given birth like during especially the Roman Catholic belief. It was given around like the Roman times when it was just beginning, and then things were like, and then when Jesus was around, they started to incorporate it into the Bible, right? So, and I feel like at that time, with all the chaos that was going on, I think people needed somebody to look up to.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And because it was very difficult for people to believe in something that they've never seen before.
Yeah.
I think that's how it evolved during the centuries, right? And I think, but when you look at the actual text and you look at the Old Testament and the New Testament, if God was around before Jesus, how can you say that Jesus is God, right? So,
yeah, because it's the one that was before everyone that is God,
Mm-hmm.
But one other thing that I noticed when I'm reading through the Bible is in a lot of areas when Jesus is performing these miracles, he's telling these people to remain silent about it. Like, do not go and tell people what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And in my interpretation of that, what that means is that in that time, people, like you said, they needed someone to kind of look up to in that type of regard. And Jesus did not want them to think wrong by because he's the only person doing these types of things. He doesn't want people to go out and say this is what happened, and for them not to be able to see Jesus think, okay, maybe he's a godly figure,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why in a lot of areas in the Bible, when Jesus performed these miracles, he's telling people don't go tell anyone about this.
Yeah.
There must be a reason. So
yeah,
that's what I think it is. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, Let us know what else you want us to react to. Like we said, this is a very highly recommended video, and we finally got it out to you guys. So if you appreciate this, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment.
And shout out to the guy who commented us and followed up with us to make this reaction. We really appreciate your consistency, and we will make more videos and send us more recommendations.
For sure.
All right.
Peace.